Friends, we started to discuss about educational technology. On the today, we are to discuss some of the definitions of educational technology so that your conception or your perceptions concerning to educational technology become much clear. Friends, in modern field of education or in today's educational system or in all the processes of the significance or importance of educational technology has well been understood or realized by all of us. Without technology, QC, we never can think about the completion of any process of the system of education from the primary level to the higher level of education. Let us see. So, definitions of educational technology. This is the heading of the class. This one is class number 4 relating to educational technology. And this one is slide number 1. And here we have explained the significance, at the same time the definitions of educational technology. Participant friends, without analyzing the definitions or without discussing about the definitions of educational technology, it gets difficult to understand the concept of educational technology in concrete way or in vivid way or in clear manner. Educational technology in general perception, in general terminology, in general understanding is defined as the systematic way of using the scientific and technological knowledge and information in the field of education, in totality. Let us see the next slide. Use of scientific and technological knowledge in a very systematic manner or way for the achievement of educational objectives is nothing but educational technology in very general explanation. Means educational technology is nothing but it is the use of scientific and technological knowledge in a very systematic way for the achievement of educational objectives. And friends, you know that education is such a process which has different or diverse objectives. And in each, of the step of the process of education, we are to keep in mind about the well-defined or well-shortlisted objectives. And educational technology is simply the use of scientific and technological knowledge in a very systematic way for the achievement of the educational objectives which are well shortlisted before the exercise of any of the processes of education. Let us see the next slide. The coined terms depict the process of application of all new tools, apparatus, devices, means and mediums for the transaction of knowledge in coherent means rational and concrete means solid way so as to help for achieving educational goals as per plan or as per pre-prepared plan or plans. So the prime concern of for the process of education is the achievement of the objectives. And for achieving such objectives, when we use the scientific and the technological scientific knowledge and the technological information as well as technological knowledge, it is very simply nothing but educational technology. And technology has given us so many tools, new tools, apparatus, devices, means and mediums which we basically use in the process of education for the achievement of educational objectives in a concrete way or to some extent in a rational way. Let us see the next slide. Different thinkers and experts have defined educational technology as means up to this slide, up to this level, slide number 3, we have explained or discussed the general perception relating to the definition of educational technology. And here we have come to know or we have come to the definitions of some of the experts who work in the field of educational technology. In the words of I.K. Davis, as for example, Davis defined educational technology and this way and for the understanding or for the clarification of your idea relating to the concept of educational technology, let us study or let us see or scrutinize these definition which is being forwarded by I.K. Davis. As you see, the Davis has explained or I.K. Davis has explained, educational technology is concerned with the problems of education and training context, and it is characterized by the disciplined and systematic approach to the organization of resources for learning. Let us repeat. In the words of I.K. Davis, educational technology is concerned with the problems of education and training. The basic concern of educational technology has link with the solution of the problems of the process of education and imparting training in a very systematic way. And it is characterized by the disciplined and systematic approach, means the tools and machineries, devices and assets of educational technology helps us to make the process of transaction of knowledge very disciplined, very systematic, and it helps to make the process of training so much practical, at the same time disciplined and systematic. And that's why Davis has explained educational technology is concerned with the problems of education and training context, and it is characterized by the disciplined and systematic approach to the organization of resources for learning. Means how to organize the learning resources by analyzing the basic parameters of the process of teaching and learning. You certainly know that whenever you study, Bloom's technology, Bloom's specification relating to the behavioral expressions, Bloom's taxonomy means the process of imparting training and knowledge to the learners as per the classification of the behavioral domains of human learners. We find 3 domains: the cognitive domains, the affective domains, and the psychomotor domains. And by following the characteristics or the specialities of each of these 3 domains, basically we predetermined or formulated the educational objectives. And for the practical realization of the well-formulated or pre-formulated educational objectives, educational technology helps us much. Let us see the next slide. De Unwin This is another expert defines educational technology as educational technology is concerned with the application of modern skills and techniques, efficient way of doing. Technique, whenever we see what does the term technique mean, we use the term here just to mean efficient way of doing to requirements of education and training. This includes the facilitation of learning by manipulation of media and methods and control of environment is so far as this reflects on learning. I just am to repeat. D. Unwin defines educational technology as educational technology is concerned with the application of modern skills and techniques to requirements of education and training. This includes the facilitation of learning by manipulation of media and methods and control of environment is so far as this reflects on learning. So friends, educational technology basically helps us to understand the process of education in totality, and it helps us to make the process of transaction of knowledge or the process of imparting training absolutely systematic and scientific. Let us see the next slide. John Leedham defines educational technology as educational technology concerns the systematic use of modern methods and technologies in teaching and learning. See friends, educational technology concerns the systematic use of modern methods and technologies in two areas, particularly teaching and learning. It involves, means educational technology involves teachers in variety of roles, some of which are traditional, some some are still emerging or coming up, as per the chance demand of the situation. Let us see the next slide. G.O.M. Leight has defined educational technology as educational technology is the application of scientific knowledge about learning and the conditions of learning to improve the effectiveness and efficiency of teaching and training. So friends, here you have found in the definition of G.O.M. Leight two specific areas with which educational technology has well been connected, and these two areas are teaching and learning, because at the time of trying to explain or trying to define educational technology, G.O.M. Leight has expressed educational technology as the application of scientific knowledge about learning and the conditions of learning to improve the effectiveness and efficiency of teaching and training, which are the prime concerns of the process of imparting education to the learners. So friends, for understanding educational technology, it is very much important for each of us to understand about the process of learning. On learning, the prime concern of the process of learning is the modification of behavior, through experiences and training. So experiences, to get experience, our students, our learners, means you are to learn and you are to face life situations. So friends, the basic concerns of basic concern of depending on the tools and devices and assets of educational technology, you see, a link with the process of learning and conditions of learning, and to improve the effectiveness and efficiency of teaching, means of the process of teaching, as well as the process of training, so much well. So friends, thank you so much, sir. You see, there are other definitions which we are to discuss in the next class. You see, today we have discussed here three most important definitions which have well been forwarded by three experts. At the same time, the general perceptions concerning or relating to educational technology we have discussed here, and the slides or the contents of the slides will help you to develop basic concept concerning to the general, you see, explanations of educational technology. At the same time, it will help you, the contents of the slides will help you to understand the specific definitions of educational technology forwarded by some of the great experts who are totally involved in the process. Thank you so much.